We gotta go. We gotta go. It's coming. It's coming. It's right behind. No! Oh, no! Now you might be wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, this is my Subnautica below 0-100 days, and we need to go back to where it all started. 2 years ago, I escaped planet 4546b, and I never planned to come back. That is, until my sister Samantha passed away, so I need to investigate. I just didn't account for the asteroid storm as I prepared for re-entry. This is gonna be rough. We've been hit, going down. I hope this thing has airbags. Brace for impact! Crashing onto the surface, I kicked open the door, merging into the frigid temperatures. Okay, this wasn't such a good idea, but too late now. I need to get to my drop pod. It was freezing cold and my core temperature was dropping, but I could warm my hands on this weird plant. Then moved on my way and dived into the water. I found the drop pod which came with a fabricator and storage, and it was best to begin gathering some nearby resources and fish to eat. There's like a sea otter.
Nice.
What? There's a little sea otter. Yes, it looks like an otter. The area was full of new species of fish and coral.
All Terra supply cache nearby.
Sweet, a supply cache. I swam over to check it out, having to go under a large chunk of ice, and there was a med kit, a nutrient chunk, and a water bottle. I then grabbed some creepvine seeds as these could make lubricant when I found a ribbon plant. These are what I need to make battery. It was getting dark, so I climbed into my pod to cook up fish for food. I made up a battery to make a scanner, rubber to make a knife, and a pair of flippers. I began to scan everything in the area when one of those sea monkeys got interested in me.
Some of the wildlife down here is
Hey!
grabby.
That's my knife! Can I get that back? Thank you. Just had a sea monkey steal my knife. How rude. I managed to get my knife back and scan a fragment of the sea glide to synthesize the blueprint before continuing to harvest to end off the day. I need to get myself equipped so I can investigate what happened to my sister. I swam up to a titan wholefish in the morning which restored my oxygen. Not entirely sure how. Ouch! Guess the fish in this area aren't so friendly. I was able to craft a larger scuba tank at my pod when, as I was exploring the area collecting more supplies, I heard an SOS. I'll need to find the source of that distress call, but I won't be going anywhere near that till I can make some more equipment. After spotting some penguin looking things on one of the ice blocks, I ran and swam over. It's a penguin! I got a little penguin!
Imagine there being penguins
Ow.
in Sub-Zero. We were literally on like ice? No way.
This little bastard came and bit me. I'm stealing your children. Ow! No! Stop biting me! I've stolen the children. With some stolen penguin kids in my pocket, I headed back to my emergency pod. I wonder how many of these penguins I can steal by the time I figure out what happened to my sister. I'll have to keep count. I also had everything I needed to make myself a sea glide, so now exploring should go much easier. And I used the sea glide to begin diving deeper where there are these oxygen plants that restored my air tank. Oh, you... No, don't eat me. Bad. Yeah, the fish here are definitely not friendly. I found a floating cage nearby and it was concerning as what were they trying to hide from in a cage? I did at least get a mineral find a blueprint from the cage, so I'll have to make one of those. And diving down there was a piece of the sea truck. Now this could be fun to use, but I'll have to find the remaining pieces. I made myself the mineral detector at my life pod, and this device can scan for resources nearby, so it should make gathering easier. I could not detect any crystalline sulfur nearby, which I needed for the repair tool. I found a cave which had a sea monkey nest inside, and these little guys must love to hoard due to how many fragments were in here. I found another nest, and this one had the mobile vehicle bay, something I will need to make the sea truck. And there was another piece which almost made me get eaten by the snapper fish thing. It was another chunk of the sea truck, so I only need one more, which I found nearby. Sweet, only the vehicle bay left. I then managed to find an old habitat which was clearly abandoned, and inside there was a habitat builder so I could make one of these to build my own base. Oxygen, get to the surface. Can't breathe. Glad I never drowned for that building tool. But I headed back down to grab the high capacity O2 blueprint, then headed home just in time as my Sea Glide battery died. I found a creature egg. Interesting to know the aliens are back again. I also scanned the snapper fish to see it's a brute shark. There were these spooky pillars that must be what the distress beacon was coming from, but it was too deep to explore any further. I instead grabbed the rebreather blueprint nearby, only to almost run out of oxygen on my way back to the surface, and at my life pod I didn't have the ingredients I needed for the rebreather when my PDA had a notification.
Unique identifier, Delta Station Dock.
I guess I have a location to visit. There might be a clue about Sam there. I also found a laser cutter fragment in one of the sea monkey caves, then in the evening stole some more baby penguins for my collection. And at the life pod I crafted up some more storage boxes where I stuffed all my goodies to continue exploring. I planned to investigate the distress beacon, hoping it was my sister, so dived down deeper, only to find this was actually an alien facility and swam in. Whoa.
Hello? Is someone
There was
there?
an ominous voice with a single question.
We will be lost unless we find a new host. Can you help?
Yeah, I guess I'll try to help. Making my way deeper, there were some ion cubes I stole from the pedestal and continued on. Ready. Whoa. Hi, Cube. Are you who's been talking to me?
South power critical. Our data can be downloaded from the terminal.
Okie dokie. I'll borrow you guys my PDA. There you go.
Brace?
What? What's happening? I did not agree to this.
How do you feel? The facility identified hospitable capacity within your cerebral cortex.
Hey. I didn't. Oh. Okay.
Not happening.
Okay then. So the alien has embedded itself inside my head. I did not consent to this. I will need to figure out what this alien actually wants if I'm going to be able to discover what happened to Sam. So I made my way out of the alien lair on my way home, only to almost swim into a crash fish. No, stop, not again! At least he left me some sulfur, and I found some gold nearby as well. Now I can make those tools that I needed. But then I realized my oxygen was getting low. I could not get to the surface but saw the oxygen plant and raced to it. That was close. I almost drowned again. I got some more oxygen from the nearby plant to continue gathering gold nearby, as I would need it for computer chips. No, not another crash fish! I really hate those things. So with full pockets, I began to make my way to the pod where I had a message from the alien.
It is undesirable. To go, we require a suitable body for transfer.
Why do you
So
keep saying
I'm going to need to make this alien a body to get it out of my head. Great. I crafted up everything I needed for the builder tool so I could start working on my base, and I also made up the mobile vehicle bay, a deployable dock to craft different sea vehicles. Then with the sun rising, I started to set up my base on this flat area I found, setting up lockers inside to dump my junk, deployed my vehicle bay nearby so I could see what I needed for the sea truck. Then in my new base made myself the rebreather, so hopefully I stopped getting so close to drowning. I really wanted the sea truck to begin exploring further. Thus, the morning was spent gathering resources, crafting advanced items when Al-An had a message for me.
Location of some important technology. I implore you to investigate.
Thanks, I think. I guess I need to go exploring to find that artifact. Good timing too, as I had everything I needed for the sea truck. Time to make my very first boat. Well, I suppose it's a submarine, I guess.
Wow, you lied.
No, I'm a terrible person.
Liar, liar, clients for hire. Yeah, that's just,
How do you get in? Oh, that's how you get in the boat. Okay. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I really don't like this. I may not like the sea truck, but it's all I have, I guess. It will at least help me in my quest to get rid of Alan and find out about Sam. I threw down a beacon to prevent losing my base and set off towards the Delta Station dock.
Oh, what is that?
Maybe I shouldn't just drive blindly into the area. That creature looked scary. But I pushed through and ran into the shore only to instantly get stuck under the dock. Nice. When I found the most important item on the dock.
The coffee machine!
No! No more coffee! You had enough in the last fucking adventure.
And a trash can! I get to store my hopes and dreams again!
Let's explore this island.
This is a recorded message. If you can hear this, you're trespassing. If you know what's good for you, you'll get the hell out of here.
Who was that? I can't let it bother me now. Let's go find some clues. My hydration did start to get low, but I was able to suck on these shrub nuts, which gave me food and water. Then as I started making my way towards the back of the island.
Oh, what the holy shit!
Stop right there,
Oh
Altera.
my
You're out of bounds.
I'm
Jesus
not with
Christ.
Altera.
Then your position is doubly precarious.
What do you mean?
If you're telling the truth, you're out of your mind. If you're lying, there'll be hell to pay.
Wait! Who are you?
Stay off my land.
After that lady scared me out of my skin. I started to explore, hoping to find clues about Sam and investigate the nearby structures, scanning everything I could. I even found some posters I stole to decorate my base. I found the blueprint for a scanner room, something that'll be very handy for finding resources. And there was also the satellite tower that I may need to use to contact Altera when I want to get off this frigid planet. But with nothing else here, I ran back to the sea truck to begin my journey home. I did first spend some time gathering resources.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's just get back in the sea truck and head home. I set up a small shrine of trinkets like the posters and beard shaving kits I had found. I then decided to set up my coffee machine.
Oh, what? No! I can't just get free coffee?
That's disappointing. Well, that is disappointing. I miss being able to quickly chug 10 cups of coffee like in my first Subnautica 100 days. I built a multi-purpose room to extend the base, then in the morning of day 9 made myself a repair tool and a compass. I grabbed some quartz I needed to make glass, which I used to make some aquariums to store my penglings.
Oh, look at the little baby penguins. It's so cute.
With that all sorted, I took off in my sea truck to discover this artifact Alan had told me about. It was deep within a sea monkey cave where I did find the final piece of the laser cutter I needed. And swimming deep, I found the artifact. Hi.
What you found is more than just an artifact. It will help them follow the traces my people left on this planet.
Sure thing, Alan. I guess this information will help Alan. I found another sea monkey nest that had the piece of the propulsion cannon in it to finish the blueprint, then made my way up and out of the cave to get back home. I need to find the moon pool. So I can park that properly. Hopefully I can find it soon. I made myself the propulsion cannon to be able to yeet things if needed, but in order to craft the other things I wanted, I was going to need some diamonds. I set up a scanner room in the hopes I could find clues about Sam or even something to help get Alan out of my head. Then heading out in my sea truck, I did find an outpost which allowed me to scan the grow bed so I can begin growing my own food when I saw that big fish from earlier nearby.
Are you? You look scary. Hold up, go away. I did not agree to this. No.
After that encounter, I kept searching the area looking for diamonds when I found an Altera outpost.
Can I not get through here? I kind of don't want to have to swim.
Unable to use the sea truck, I jumped out and began to swim around.
Ooh, ruby. Moon pool, yay!
At least now I can build this once I get back to base to store my sea truck. Awesome! But it was time to leave, so I swam back to my sea truck and began the journey home.
Copper mining site.
and I was planning where to place the sea truck shelter. Oh wow, okay, god damn. But I found a spot and plopped it down only to have my base run out of power. Set up more solar panels before just hiding out in my sea truck until it got light enough for the solar panels to power my base. And setting off in the morning, I gathered everything I needed, smelting the quartz into glass and crafting the sea truck bay. It broke my base. I was able to reinforce it with some lithium and titanium, repaired the hole in my base and parked the truck in the bay, gave it a paint job and then named it the Cucumber and headed out. I found another pengling to yoink for my collection. We're up to 7 so far, but there'll be a big number revealed at the end of the video. Alan let me know of another artifact location, but seeing as my sea truck could only go to 150 meters and I hadn't found any diamonds to make the depth module, but I had no clue where to look yet, so I just headed home. I was trying to expand my base in the morning only to accidentally break it, so I headed out in search of some lithium. Diving far and wide with my sea glide, the amount of biodiversity in this area was incredible. I did find more baby penglings to steal for my collection, but the search for lithium proved to be ineffective, so I headed home. Booted up the scanner room and saw a chunk of lithium was to the southeast, then headed out in my cucumber. But with the sun setting, it was incredibly dark. Thankfully, my mineral detector led me in the right direction to find the lithium I needed, and as I was looking for some more, I found a crack in the ocean floor.
It is both reassuring and unsettling to rediscover this site after being in storage for so long. I hope you will continue to search for more, please.
Whoa, alright Alan, I'll see what I can find. And as I was collecting more resources, getting jump scared by the scary fish, I did find another architect artifact.
Another site found. I have collected enough data to extrapolate the location of a component necessary to assemble my body.
Thanks Alan. I'll need a depth module before I go find that though, so I really need to find diamond. Climbed into my cucumber to head home, set up a battery charger so I could start reusing them, grabbed a bunch of fish to cook up for food as I ran out of power again. Thanks ESCOM. I reinforced the hull of my base with the lithium I had found before expanding it and throwing a multi-purpose room with a bioreactor at the end. I also moved my pengling aquarium to be in the generator room. Then on day 14 I set out to try and find some diamonds again, only to come up on a massive sunken wreck. Exploring it had some loot scattered around, but ultimately having been underwater for as long as it appears to have been, there was nothing interesting. I was then heading out.
Oh, that's a big fish.
Go pet it.
Wow, what a truly majestic beast. I did notice I was pretty close to that scary lady's last known position, but without the depth module I did not want to explore any further from fear of my cucumber getting crushed, and headed home. With the need for diamonds, I set out back towards that thermal geyser area as I didn't thoroughly explore the area the first time I was there. And it was a good thing I did as I found 2 diamonds in an ore vein pretty quickly, but I needed more. Where else had I not looked yet? Copper mines. I hadn't looked there yet. I hadn't looked properly at least. I did get distracted on my way there and found the control room blueprint, the first piece of the sea truck aquarium module, a fabricator module, and my first jukebox disc called Die Peacefully. Very inspiring. Once I got to the mine, I dived down into it, collecting a ruby, another diamond, scanning the thermal plant before running towards one of the landing pads. Yes! The prawn suit! Now this could be incredibly useful if I find all the pieces I need. I did have to keep using the oxygen plant, but with what I thought to be everything headed back to the cucumber in order to make my way home. I finished making the modification station and upgraded my knife, and after collecting quartz for glass in the morning, I found another sea monkey. Oh, thanks, little monkey. That's pretty interesting. They offer you stuff. Neat. I stole some more children, and once I got home, I crafted everything I needed to make the sea truck depth module. Chucked it into the cucumber and set out to try and find that lady. I found the final piece for the aquarium module I needed, and this whole biome just freaked me out. That shark thing was not helping my situation. I found another massive wreck nearby, and inside it there were some sealed supply crates. I really need more diamonds to make a laser cutter. I also found the final piece of the prawn suit as well as the reinforced dive suit. I did have some close calls, but the oxygen plants came in handy, and after scanning a piece of the parallel processing unit, of which I had no clue what it does, but maybe it proves to be useful in the search for my sister Sam, or even Alan could use it to get rid of him. But with nothing else I could find in this absolute maze of a wreck, I climbed into my cucumber and on my way. I was not sure what I was looking for, but no matter what, I could not find it. Thus I decided it was safest to just head home.
I was just... What the... Holy... Watch your language. Going the other direction.
Now that was a big fish. Glad I'm on my way home. I realized how terrible my base spot was in the morning as I could not find a spot I wanted to build my moon pool, so I gave up and headed out to search for some more supplies and diving deep through the trenches as I could now dive to 300 meters in my cucumber. So I was making sure to explore what I could. Found a sea monkey nest with a prawn suit grappling arm in it, and I also found a small cave with some gel sacks, and these can be combined with rubies to make aerogel. But my search did not reveal much else as I was still hit with the maximum depth of my cucumber. I will need to make the next depth module, so I simply headed home to repair the cucumber to end off the day, and I set up some grow beds in the morning and planted the gel sacks since they make great food. Looked at the recipe to see the main ingredient I needed for the depth upgrade was synthetic fibers. I had no clue where to find the spiral plant clippings I needed to make them. I did hunt a few fish with my knife for food to prepare for my search, and turned a bunch of bladderfish into water bottles before setting out on my way. I found the mother load of diamonds, and good thing I no longer work for Altera or they would charge me for those. Since I had found them, I headed home to make the laser cutter as I found myself needing it quite a few times already. I also used the diamonds to make some enameled glass so I could craft the aquarium for my cucumber, attached it to the main piece, and boom! Hopefully I can find the remaining modules to upgrade this even more. Maybe I can take the penglings on a field trip in my cucumber now. I was scouring the ocean floor on day 21 searching for spiral plants to be able to make the synthetic fibers when I came back to where I'd seen those jellyfish earlier on in the run. There was another big fish thing swimming around, so I would have to be careful.
Oh, there's a big fish again.
There was a huge jelly which had attached itself to the floor, and it looked like it basically had an entire biome inside of it. But with that pincer fish swimming around, I didn't want to risk checking it out, so I found another smaller one nearby and saw it was called a vent garden. Couldn't quite find a way into the hole, so I just left it for now and headed back to base for the night. I was back at the jelly area in the morning to see if I could sneak my way inside the vent garden, parking nearby and swimming up into the base of the jelly. Inside it had these large mushroom gardens and most importantly, spiral plants. These clippings will let me upgrade my depth module, so with my prize I began to head back to base, and I stole even more penguin children while searching for the last piece of lead to make enameled glass to make the depth module Mark II. My cucumber could now go to 650 meters, thus allowing me to set off towards one of the architect beacons from Alan.
The artifact you found contains traces of information suggesting what has become of my people.
I parked the cucumber at the bottom of the hole, then scanned all the abandoned apparatus, collected all the diamonds and rubies as I wanted to be rich by the time I got off this planet again. They could potentially be used to help the search for Sam as well. Then took off back towards my base to dump off the resources. I missed the deep down diver with its built-in storages. I'll hopefully be able to find a storage module, but in the meantime I made myself the reinforced dive suit. I also emptied the aquariums on the cucumber, discovering you can use the fish in the bioreactor. Interesting. Very interesting. I cooked up some water bottles and left in the evening towards the next architect beacon, and hidden deep in the trenches near where the pilot had disappeared, I found a massive underwater cavern.
I strongly sense my people's technology nearby. A body component is near.
Sure thing, Alan. Let's find it. The area had these glowing spores and some gems, and then much further into the cave it had some cotton anemone, and at the very end, the architect's facility. I found the skeleton of an architect that should help me build a new body for Alan, and with the information acquired, I was making my way out of the cave when I saw a small seahorse-like creature that I wanted to scan.
What the is happening? I'm getting tripped out. Everything is bright, funny colors.
Well, that was an interesting experience to say the least. I chose to stop by the broken ship on my way home as I now had a laser cutter to cut into those boxes and my propulsion cannon to shove this debris out of the way so I could cut into the circuit board and scan the final piece of the parallel processing unit I needed. Now if only I could figure out what it's actually useful for. I was able to cut into some new areas, but ultimately found nothing else, and it was day 25 when I arrived back at Copper Mine, as Alan had actually highlighted a beacon was inside. So I dived down into the caves, arriving at what appeared to be a strange statue.
This artifact could provide useful information. Processing. I can visualize the location where we will find an important component from the body. The image is hazy, but I am sure it is correct. The starless surface landscape. Dangerously cold.
The surface. I have to go to the surface?
The sky.
That's going to be a cold experience. I may need to get my coffee machine actually working to stay warm. I dumped off all my loot at home, where I then spent the rest of the day just hanging out, and after munching on some gel sacks for breakfast, it was yet again an adventure to search for the prawn suit pilot who jumped me so many days ago. Searching deep in the caverns when she called me.
Stay away.
From what? I don't even know who you are.
Marguerite Maida's the name. You're on my turf.
Great.
Marguerite.
Can I come
She was the
in?
badass who killed a Reaper Leviathan with her hands. I scanned her prawn suit before climbing up into the moon pool and walked down the hall.
Oh, that scared me.
I told you to stay off my land.
You trained that thing?
Next time I'll let him tear you to ribbons, Altera.
I'm not with Altera. I'm Robin Ayu. I'm looking for information about my sister Sam. I think you might have crossed paths.
Bull crap. I suggest you take the time you need to come to your senses and then get off my sea base. If you're not Altera, why don't you disable that damn tracking satellite tower instead of barging into my sea base? Maybe once Altera's off my back, I'll remember something about your sister.
Guess I have to help her first if she's gonna tell me anything about my sister. I scanned the override module on the tablet, as well as a piece of a snow fox. Potentially another vehicle for me to make if I can find the other pieces. I scanned her spiky good boy that was actually named a Snowstalker before making my way out of the habitat. I did make sure to scan the larger room first so I could make my own at home. And there was a small spy pengling on the floor outside which I was able to scan, then navigated all the way up and out of the cave system. Once I got home, I had a look on how to craft this override module and was just short a few things but collected it all up pretty quickly, fabricated the parallel processing unit I needed, so I guess I know what that's used for now. And in the morning made the override module. I should be able to use this to hack that satellite dish I found on Delta Station dock. I made up plenty of food and water, then headed over, climbed all the way up the mountain to the dish, plugged in the module and disabled the satellite before freezing to death too.
Alright, Altera. You win this round. Come find me at my greenhouse. I'm about 1 kilometer east of your position up on an iceberg.
Guess I need to go see Marguerite again. So took off heading directly east when I finally got to the iceberg. Found an architect artifact which I was able to scan, but her greenhouse was on a different berg, so ran over to it and pushed open the door.
Damn satellite hasn't passed by in a while. I guess that was your doing.
Sam's not the only one in the family who knew what to do with vague directions in old wire.
She was an original, that sister of yours. First time I met her, I was sure she was Altera through and through. Not a crease in her uniform. Sending those damn bird bots to spy everywhere. Then, she surprised me. Maybe a little too much.
Meaning,
If you really want to know, there's a PDA on the bench that can point you in the right direction. If you need anything else, don't bother me. But you can help yourself at the greenhouse. Least I can do to repay you for getting those spine pests off my back.
Guess she did know my sister. I scanned and stole a bunch of her veggies and picked up the PDA.
I've already synthesized an antidote and stashed it in a cave. I can go grab it and
That's your plan?
you don't think it'll work?
You're thinking too small. Like maybe if you're polite enough about destroying the bacteria, Altera will come around and see it your way. But do you
So Sam was trying to cure something. I'll need to figure out what, as if I can do that, I can probably find how she died. Getting back to my cucumber, the aquarium piece seemed to have detached itself on accident, and it was nearby, so drove over to it and was about to reattach it. Whoops. My bad. Guess I need to make a new one now. So down an aquarium module but up a large room blueprint, I headed home where I set up some grow beds to plant the veggies I stole. At some point I'd learned how to make ion batteries, so made one for my Sea Glide, then built a large room for my base. Just look at all the space for activities! I should now be able to expand far enough to set up a moon pool, since I do still want to get a prawn suit, but that was going to need a lot of resources. Thus, the morning was spent whacking rocks with my hands to collect the titanium inside, smelting it up, building the moon pool, setting up the customization console, and beginning construction on the control room. Stole more baby penguins and finished the control room. Much efficient, such wow. This room allowed me to paint my entire base, and I named it Rex Cubes. Threw all the penguins into the aquarium with the bioreactor, which was getting a little expensive to run now that I lost the aquarium module, but should be okay overall as I can find an alternative source somewhere. I set off in the morning towards the next architect artifact, moving through an absolute swarm of jellyfish, then got to the berg and climbed ashore. There were some steam vents where I was able to warm up, then at the top of the ridge was a bridge.
Of significance beyond this bridge. It was important to Otera, but more important to me.
Alright Alan, let's see if we can get across. Looks like I'll need another hydraulic canister. Checking the ingredients on my PDA, I headed home grabbing a creepvine seed as well as the gel sacks I had been growing on my roof, synthesized the hydraulic fluid, and headed back where I was able to repair the bridge and walk across.
I'm sensing interesting patterns to the northeast. It would be worth investigating. But be careful. I recall ravenous creatures tunneling beneath the ice.
Well, that is comforting. Guess this won't be as simple as I thought, especially with how cold it is here. Started to walk around and up the iceberg, coming to a large, flat, snowy plains.
What the fuck is that? Run.
And this really was not going to be as simple as I thought. I did manage to sneak around the corner where I found this small outpost from Altera, giving me the Thumper blueprint. And this appeared to be a diamond mine of sorts. But I had to keep moving, so started to sneak my way, hoping to not aggro that worm. But with night setting and the cold settling in, this was going to be rough. It was getting really cold. Hypothermia was starting to set in and there were no steam vents around. Temperature slowly dropping as the worm thing attacked. The hypothermia grabbed hold, plunging me into the light. I woke up in my cucumber, having died and respawned. So much for that hardcore run, I guess. But I couldn't worry about that as I spotted a way I hadn't gone, and inside was actually the architect's artifact I was here for in the first place. Awesome! Guess I don't need to worry about that worm. So climbed into my cucumber to begin the trip home. Maybe once I find a snowsuit or even just a fleece jacket, I can come back to explore more. Once home, I did set up everything I needed so I could craft the much needed prawn suit. Welcome back to the return of the Goblin, Mark II. Made my way back to Marguerite's house in the morning so I could scan all of her stuff, but she didn't have anything else for me to steal. Guess I need to focus on continuing to make Alan's body until I can find out what happened to Sam. So I left to just dive deeper nearby and came up to an area filled with these giant crystals spammed everywhere. But I was not alone. Something was lurking in the deep. I needed to collect these gems though, as this was kyanite, the next ingredient I needed to upgrade my depth module to be even stronger. I could see the monster lurking in the deep, but I pushed forwards to gather even more of the crystals.
Oh, you are terrifying. Okay. Okay. Get in the boat! I don't like this. Hi, I'm sorry. Go away, please. Why was I greedy for the kyanite?
Go away! Crap! No! Move! Go! Go! Dodge and weave! Dodge and weave! After absolutely crapping myself, I slowly began to ascend up and out of the trenches. At least I had my prize of the kyanite. It was day 33 since I landed back on this overgrown ice cube, and still very little actual information on my sister Sam. So using the kyanite, I upgraded the depth module to explore even deeper, munched on my gel sacks for food, and made my very first thermos so I could have some coffee. Finally, I've missed it so much. So I made up 3 more thermos to carry around plenty of coffee with me. Alan had found another artifact that could help us make him a body, so I had traveled over to it in the morning to be able to scan it.
Another site found, but I cannot yet tell whether the others survived. The network is indicating more of my people's technology, but the images I am receiving are fragmented, repeating. I am struggling to locate them precisely. I can only theorize that the locations are deep and shielded by a refractive material. Perhaps amongst large crystal formations.
Thanks, Alan. Guess I have to go back and brave that scary sea monster soon. Began to make my way back home so I could continue the search. Oh my god! No! Go! Move! Hold! Run! Go! Dumb! Go! It took a moment to let my heart rate calm down on the beach nearby, checking if there are any penguin babies around for me to steal, but they were all adults here. Thus, it was back in to brave the water and head home, where I spent the rest of the day munching on potatoes and cowering in fear, having just had the life scared out of me. Twice. Now that I had a prawn suit, I thought it'd be good to go and investigate that snowy plains again in hopes of finding some more clues about Sam. I did take a moment to steal the baby penguins I came across, then jumping across the ice and grappling through across the floor, I finally found my way up onto the iceberg. Water was beginning to be an issue as I had not packed correctly, so I had nothing to drink as I emerged in an area with these beautiful pink trees. But I really needed water. I was able to find some purification tablets in a box nearby, which I used to convert some snow into a water bottle, and now I could truly explore. I got to a cave entrance where my goblin couldn't fit inside, and there was a door there. Parvan Ivanov. No clue who that is, but maybe they're a colleague of Sam's? They had nothing of interest in their room, and then as I wandered further down the hall, I found it. A massive beast, frozen in ice. I found Sam's necklace on the counter, and this must have been where she was working. I walked into the dugout ice hole and was able to scan the claws of the monster. A frozen leviathan. This must have been what Sam was researching on this frigid planet. I munched on some chili peppers before taking the elevator up to the top of the creature to be able to scan it, and it appeared to be infected by the Kara virus. A virus I had been infected with when I was first on this planet. I made my way out of the cave to see if I could find any other Altera structures. Then in the dead of night, I found the entrance to the fire robotics lab. This place was an absolute wreck. Almost everything was destroyed except for this alien archway. I found the final piece of the snow fox, which looked like it was a hover bike of some sort, and then I found Sam's room, so I stole her art. I found a cold suit, which I scanned so I can make my own, then also found the snow fox hover pad, which I was able to scan. I ended up leaving the lab as I could find nothing else and got to the bridge I had repaired earlier on, and the prawn suit should keep me safe from those giant worms, and made my way forwards. Oh boy. Go away, wormy. I found another cave with a bunch of iron cubes I was able to harvest with my drill, and shortly after that I found another alien archway. This one I was able to power, and it turned out it led back to the fire robotics lab. Interesting. Oh, that's so, yeah. Why? Okay. Having spent the past few days on this block of ice, I decided it was time to head home. I just realized my power levels. I'm glad I'm back at base. That's that. Yeah. Great timing, me. I set up all the posters I'd found. There we go. Look at that posters. Yeah. Threw all my penguins into aquariums and set up some extra so I'd have a backup supplies of so I could keep more of them safe. I still had to find the remaining pieces I needed to help Alan make a body, so began to travel towards it, and on the way I found the sleeper truck module. Then descending down was able to scan the artifact, allowing me to learn the teleportation module. That could be useful. There was also the last piece of the docking module so I could bring my prawn suit. Within the sea truck I would just need to craft them. Thus I spent the next few days gathering, harvesting and crafting everything I needed. Made the teleportation module, the sleeping module and the docking module. Really? I wish I read the instruction manual on how to attach them. So as I said, collect, harvest, craft and attach them to my cucumber. This was going to be the ultimate exploration vehicle. I set out on day 41 back towards the large crystal area, making sure to repair the cucumber before moving forward, and I spotted the giant monster swimming past, so took my opportunity to sneak behind it. Diving through caves when I found a deep cavern that looked to be my goal, and at the very end of this beautiful cavern was the architect artifact I needed. Perfect. Only one more artifact required before I'll be able to make a new body for Alan. I was then trying to catch some fish for food and water when... Oh shit. Teleport me, please. Okay. Well, I was almost eaten. Again. Glad I made that teleportation thingamajig. I think it's best to just leave at this point. I found a torpedo arm I was able to scan for my prawn suit, so with this new blueprint I took the first opportunity I saw to get the heck out of this place. I did have one more encounter on my way home. Bye fishy friend. Bye fishy friend. No! Rude! Rude! Go! Go! Gotta go fast! Gotta go fast. Gotta hit the gas. Glad I take the time to repair my sea truck when I can. I got home to park the cucumber inside of the dock, and I stole some more penglings from the icebergs to continue growing my fuel collection. I had a hunch on day 45 on how I could figure out what Sam was up to, and that was with these spy penglings. So I made one and swam up to the ice to test it out. I immediately broke it. So I made another one. Then pingling in hand, I set off towards the robotics lair. And there it was, in the room next to Sam's bedroom. A map of the area with a bunch of small icons for the pingling. So surely there was something deeper going on here. I just have to figure out what. I did find another architect artifact that I scanned to reveal it was a greenhouse of some kind. Only to stumble upon one of the pingling markers on the map. So I deployed my pingling and sent it inside. The small cave had some resources, but nothing too exciting, so I just picked up my pingling and began to head to the next one. But with how cold it was, I thought it was best to go fetch my prawn suit, and use that for traveling around the area. It'd be safer too. I got back in the morning and began to scour the snow plains, searching caves and backpots only to stumble into a massive pingling colony. There were so many penguins for me to steal. It was amazing. I stole every single one of them for my collection. I did have to drill some snow stalkers who were preventing me claiming the penguin, but that was a sacrifice I was willing to make. There was a baby snow stalker who I may have just orphaned, but it was not possible for me to claim it as my own. I did also come back to check on that frozen leviathan in the ice, and that's how I realized. Sam was trying to cure it, the coronavirus. She wanted to cure the frozen leviathan from the virus. Now, it makes me wonder if she had actually found the cure and hidden it, so I'll need to keep looking and hopefully finish what my sister started. I noticed the pingling map actually had one of the spots circled, but since I suck at geography, I would need to find where that is. So I simply began to check every single spot, even almost freezing while checking some spots, but my coffee kept me warm. Having run out of coffee in the morning, I picked up my pingling and climbed into my prawn suit to begin making my way back home. I wanted to build that snow fox I had scanned a few days ago, so I set up a foundation only to discover I couldn't actually place the hover pad on it. I had to instead set it up on the iceberg nearby and gathering all the silver and penglings to craft what I needed so I could set up the hover pad. Built the snow fox and immediately crashed it. I'm not good at driving in these games, clearly. I tried to use a propulsion cannon to lift it, but that didn't work.
Yes! You can pick it up.
There were some more penglings and adults did get in my way, so I chose to yeet them away with my propulsion cannon. Since I was getting so many penglings at this point, I set up a massive aquarium in the large room and just look how many children we've stolen so far. It's amazing. We had so many, I even set up a second giant aquarium. I wanted to make some more powerful cells for my prawn suit. Thus, the next morning was spent harvesting everything I needed to fabricate the cells for my prawn suit. Then set off back towards the robotics lab's iceberg to see if I could find any more information about Sam. I found one of the pingling layers that I hadn't explored yet, so threw down my spy pingling and sent it in. And there was a box hidden inside, and contained in it was a vial of strange liquid. Could this be the antidote that my sister was working on for that giant frozen beast? Only one way to find out.
I wonder if this is the antidote for that frozen leviathan. Okay, big boy. Let's see if this antidote works, shall we? Going up. Hi. Okay. Here goes nothing. And activate. Okay, it's busy drilling in.
I believe the antibacterial agent was effective. Without it, the bacteria could have spread. Now it cannot. Your sister's memory will live in you through this gesture.
Nice. Good job, Sam. Well, it looks like I was able to complete Sam's legacy by healing this frozen leviathan. It's just sad that she had to die for it. I made my way back to the cucumber to begin the journey home, content knowing that I had helped Sam achieve her goal. I saw all my penglings had actually grown up in the aquarium, so now I had a massive swarm of adult penguins. Great. Truly a sentiment for life. Enjoy it while you're young, as eventually you grow up. I guess only one thing left to do now is to help Alan make that body. Hopefully I can find where that third piece is. I began to scour my PDA looking for a sign when I remembered how Alan had told me he had felt something after I repaired that bridge. I at first thought he was talking about the robotics lab, but there had to be something more. I stole some more penglings to restock my aquarium, then set off in the cucumber. I explored far and wide in the morning, going through every corner and bend when finally Alan spoke to me.
Architect data patterns are so strong here. There is almost certainly vital information pertaining to my body construction nearby.
Got it, Alan. I'll find it.
There were iceworm corpses here. What the heck is killing iceworms? Then finally hidden down a tunnel was the architect bunker Alan had told me about. There was a large emerald I scanned, and at the back of the room, a crushed architect. Scanning it gave me the final blueprint I needed to fabricate a new body for Alan and finally get him out of my head.
I've scanned all the components we need to make a storage body. Using the chemical compounds available in your body, I am able to approximate what you might call cautious optimism.
So I pinned the 3 recipes I needed and began to make my way home.
Whoa, that's a big worm.
I'm glad I never ran into that worm on my way here. I got to my cucumber to listen to Alan.
Get the necessary components to begin constructing my body. First, you must find the fabrication facility. It is concealed at some depths.
Okay, let me gather everything I need and then we can begin the search for the architect fabricator. I had to collect just a few basic resources, all of which could be found nearby. Munched on some of the food I'd been growing and I was ready. It's time to begin the hunt for this architect fabricator. I have a feeling it's hidden in that blue crystal area, as Alan had mentioned there potentially being a facility there which I never stumbled across. I knew there was a chance to run into more of those giant shadow snake creatures, so I made myself a torpedo arm for my prawn suit, as well as a few vortex and gas torpedoes. Now, I was feeling ready. Prepared up the prawn suit and parked it in the cucumber, then set off into the depths.
Alright, Alan, let's see if we can find this fabricator that we can use to be able to help you make a body so I can get you out of my head. We're here. Let's see if we can find Alan's fabricator. Oh, seen me. Oh, come on. No! Okay. Now we follow behind.
As I snuck around the crystal area, being careful not to attract the attention of the sea monster, I spotted something.
Red crystals. Those are new. Oh, okay. This looks like it could be the way to go.
Guess I'm on the right track. I just had one small problem.
I sense the presence of a substantial facility in the area. Unable to identify.
Thanks, Alan. We'll check it out. But I think this is that fabric. Oh, crap. Yeah, go away, stinking worm. Oh, crap.
Making sure to take my time to repair up the cucumber, I kept trying to push forwards, but quickly realized I was not going to get through in this thing.
Go, 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 go. Oh, it's faster than me. No, get off. There's a second one. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
I repaired up my cucumber one final time before jumping into my prawn suit to try and make my way past. It immediately grabbed me as I fired my torpedoes.
Get off of me. Get away. Go, inside. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in.
I desperately tried to repair my prawn suit in case it came back. Just in time too as it attacked.
No!
Once you have used the fabricator to build each component, we can assemble them.
But I had to move on as we had found it. The fabricator facility.
Whoa.
So, Alan,
We have all the necessary components. You may initiate body fabrication.
I made Alan's final piece of his body as I started the machine to make his new body.
Bacterium was an accident. I thought my solution was foolproof. I was wrong.
Damn, Alan, your body's looking dope.
What are you doing?
research. Tit for tat. You've probed my mind. I scan your body.
Commencing data transfer.
Finally get you out of my head. What's up,
It's been
Alan?
some time since I last stretched out in so many dimensions. Like waking from a dream.
Damn.
Whoa. Hey.
Alan?
told you I must return home. To assess. Repair. Make amends. When the bacteria escaped, it was my fault. I disobeyed the directive from my network.
Oh.
We noticed that a species of Leviathan young produced an enzyme that is efficient against the bacteria. I thought if we incubated sea dragon eggs, we might expedite their hatching. I was not wrong.
But
It would appear that sea dragon parents are stronger and more motivated than our facility was rated to handle.
Architect phase gate facility. Damn, okay.
With Alan finally out of my head, everything suddenly felt a lot more quiet. But I was not going to pass up this opportunity to learn even more about the architects, so I made my way back to the cucumber in my prawn suit, ascending up out of the depths only to have my path blocked by another Leviathan.
Gotta go. Go. No! No! Leave me be! Leave me be! There we are. Oh, come on. Just let me out of here.
I tried to make a breakboard. No, not the cucumber!
Let's go break it. Oh. And the prawn suit, I guess. No, the cucumber. Go for that. Let me get out of here. No, get back! Come on! Ah! You already killed my cucumber. Don't do this to me.
I desperately had to repair the prawn suit as it was my only way out of this cave. But thankfully the Leviathan did not follow as I slowly began to jump, boost and grapple my way up and out of the depths. I finally got home to do some final chores.
Well, I suppose there's nothing else to do other than go to the phase gate facility. I figure it's about time I show you guys what these penguins are being used for. So you see, early on, I was able to get away with just some solar panels and was able to power my entire base using just a few solar panels. But very quickly I realized that this base is going to be taking up a lot of power. So I then also discovered you can use the penguins for fuel for your bioreactor. And they actually make a fantastic fuel source. So yeah, that's why I have so many penguins, because I'm just using them for fuel the whole time. Now, leave a comment down below. What fuel source would you be using? Because penguin power is pretty powerful to me.
Let's head to that phase gate facility, shall we? I was making my way to the facility only to take a wrong turn and end up getting my prawn suit completely stuck in the mesh, in a place I hadn't actually found before. This must have been
free.
Sam's secret outpost.
Researchers here were trying to find me.
I thought Alan had left my head. A cat picture.
Oh, potato.
Goodbye, Sam. I'll miss you. I used my snow fox to travel the final few hundred meters to meet Alan at the phase gate facility.
Hi, Alan. How you doing? You miss me?
Yes, there is much to do.
Damn, Alan. How can I help? Whoa!
Do you still wish to leave with me? Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
Are you kidding? I can't pass up a chance to see where architects come from. Besides, I don't have another ride.
I do not know what we will find there. The others may be sick or angry, if they live at all. Please complete any business you still have on this planet. Join me on the other side when you are ready to leave.
Well, I guess that's it. Get the heck out of here.
Robin, you're just in time. The phase gate is opening.
You've been hiding a phase gate here this whole time.
Only for the last millennium. It will lead us home.
No wonder you hid yourself from Altera.
It was imperative to keep the homeworld safe, in hopes that the others survived.
Yeah.
Would you help me prepare the ship? The energy masts must be moved into place.
Well,
Let's stick you up over here. And right over there. Whoops. Okay, catch that. And stick it right over there. Perfect. Alley-oop. These things are so cool. Whoa! Oh. Glad these things came with instructions, kinda. I suppose them having a mind of their own as instructions.
Very good. Return to me and I will initiate ship assembly.
Sounds good, Alan.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
The masts are in place. The energy field is ready. There is no time to lose.
Okay. What do you want from me, Alan? I'm coming. I'm coming. Whoa. Alan? Oh, that's so cool.
Join
Do I-
me, Robin.
Jumping it. Wait, oh. Ow, ow. Ouch.
I apologize.
Okay.
The levitator was calibrated for heavier bodies. I would have helped
Are
you
you-
to your feet, but as you can see, I have been fully integrated with the ship.
Sure.
is this
Sure.
permanent?
Nothing is permanent. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Truly a metaphor
I
for
found
life.
the answers I was looking for.
Launch
Okay.
in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, we're out of here. Well, it's been good. Subnautica Below Zero. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm off to go see the universe. And everything that's truly in it. Thank you for watching. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video next, and I hope you all stay fan-frickin-tastic. Glad you know how to drive, Alan.
What will we find when we get there?
If I am the last of my kind, I will experience the sorrow of 10,000 souls dimming.